Hey y'all, it's your girl, the one and only Big fucking Ranch. Yeah, big dog for real. And you're tuned into I's Got Something to Say.
Hey y'all. So today's episode, we are going to be embracing that crazy that's in all of us. Denial is a river in Egypt. We're going to be getting rid of the fear of embarrassment and, of course, learning a new word and diving into some of my daddy's wisdom. So let's get it, y'all. Now, I like to start out by asking, I don't know who need to hear this, and I don't know who need to hear this, but stop being embarrassed. Like, don't you know it's 6 billion people in this world? Do you really think you're the only one that's making the wrong decisions? Don't worry, I'll wait. If it's any consolation, my very own bad decisions and my wrong decisions is where got me where I'm at right now. You feel me? But it's so important to focus on the positive side of things because if you do focus on the negative too much, you'll never really be able to see that your life was actually written, right? How will you ever see that everything happens for a reason? And I like to bring the Most High in this because that's really what submission is all about. You know what I mean? Like once you submit to him, you'll really start to see that nothing is actually an accident and that everything was by design. Then hopefully as you grow deeper in him, you'll begin to live for whatever the plan it is that he has for you. You know what I mean? It's almost like a scavenger hunt. You know, it's like shit will happen that you didn't plan for, and like instead of getting mad and stuff, you'll just stop and think like, I wonder what this is about. Like, you know, especially because you know damn well you ain't playing for no detour. So like what is he trying to do? What is he trying to say? What is happening here? And I'm telling you, it'll make you have a better appreciation for your life, and the relationship with him will grow deeper because like your life is not your own. You know what I mean? You got to stop acting like you run this thing and you don't. Submit. Real shit. And on top of like no longer being embarrassed, we gonna move on to what my daddy always said. And my daddy always said, fuck them. Fuck them. Like, you gotta ignore haters. You gotta remove yourself from toxic people and negativity, point blank, period. Like, do you know how much shame I felt when I was living in a motel with me and my 3 kids and our dog? Now, granted, no one would have known if I didn't say anything. Don't get me wrong, but it's almost like I was trying to prove not only to myself but to the Most High that I trust him. Like I know he did not bring me this far just to leave me now. And I remember like people was commenting on my videos, they was messaging me, but like they were just asking questions. They weren't in no way, shape, form, or fashion were they trying to lend help at all. They really just had question after question. They just wanted to know the whole story. And I had to see it for myself like, oh, y'all just trying to have the whole story so that you can have something to go talk about to your friends. Because not once did anybody lend an offering hand, one person, but not nobody offered a lending hand. And it's not like I needed it. I wasn't asking nobody for no handout or none of that. I was literally trusting the Most High to get me through it because I of everything that I was doing, ending up homeless in a motel with my kids, I knew there had to be a bigger picture. It just wasn't making sense. Like when you know that there's a bigger picture, like I can't even really explain it. It's really one of those things that you have to go through on your own to know what it's like to have trust in the unknown and trusting what you can't see, that relationship, you know? And I did. Now look, I'm in a better situation, but I'm not in my best situation. Getting there, but like I knew, like there had to be more. It just wasn't making sense. And the crazier part about it is those same people, it's like I feel like they are almost like mad that I'm not in that situation anymore. Like they are mad that I'm winning. Sad to say, but did y'all really want to see me down forever? I don't know how many times I gotta say this, but God don't play about me. Nigga, the fuck? But I'm not here to boast, brag, or nothing. I'm here to encourage, enlighten, and help build because a lot of us don't have that. A lot of us don't have either one, access, two, the drive, or three, the intellect. And here I am. I believe in one, learning something new every day. I believe that each one teach one. I believe in empowering the my people, so we're going to move on to word of the day. And today's word is gregarious. Gregarious, almost like Greg and Arius. Gregarious, which means fond of company or sociable. And I'll use that in a sentence for some better understanding. Being gregarious helps you build connections faster. In my case, in order to build my platforms, I had to become more gregarious online. Like, comment, share, you know, add, follow, shit like that. So, gregarious, fond of company or sociable. That also correlates with the word of the day that we have, which is Ecclesiastes 4:9. Two are better than one because they'll have a good return for their labor. Sound like they was being gregarious. But no, for real. So this next part we're going to get into, because like I said, I'm not here to beat nobody down. I'm here to uplift. I'm here to motivate. And I'm here to educate as well. So we're going to get into today's segment of repeat back, which are the affirmations that I have for y'all that I really want y'all to say on a regular basis. If you can't remember to say it every day, why don't you pause in between each one, write it down, or record this, download it, share it, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Because your mind does what you tell it to do. Your mind doesn't know if you're ever joking or if you're serious. It just does what you tell it to do. So if you're saying negative shit all the time, that is literally what you'll attract. That is what you'll get into, because your mind will try to find negative shit for you to do or to entertain. So if your mind can do that with negative shit, don't you think it can do it with positive stuff? I think that's why, well, amongst other things, because, I had dietary changes. Like I don't eat pork. I don't eat shellfish. It opened up my pineal gland, my third eye. So I just see things differently and I just move differently now. You know what I mean? But a lot of that is attributed to the affirmations that I do, because I want nothing but greatness for my life. You know what I'm saying? I want nothing but greatness for my family. I want to create generational wealth for me and mine. So in order to do that, I have to take those right steps. Even something as simple as speaking life into myself. So I want y'all to repeat back these affirmations with me today. Number 1, I embrace who I am without shame. A lot of us do shit and we really be ashamed to do it. So even though someone may not know, you know about it, so you operate differently. Let go of that shame. I embrace who I am without shame. You think I'm ashamed of having 3 baby daddies, all 3 of them being my cousins, and 2 of them being by uncle and nephew? Bitch, I said I'm big dog for real. I don't give a fuck. Ain't no shame in my motherfucking game. And please believe I ain't the only person who fucking did that shit in real life. Number 2, I am fearless in expressing myself. Y'all know I always got something to say. That's why we here today. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to always express myself because it's almost like a fart. It's more room out than in. So I am fearless in expressing myself. Number 3, I attract people who celebrate the real me. I attract people who celebrate the real me. I used to have a big team. Some of them dead and gone. Shout out to my boy Lynn Dog. But I used to have a big team. But I can only be around those who really celebrate me. You feel me? So you're not going to really see me around too many motherfuckers. But you is going to see me around those who really celebrate me. And that circle's small. It is. But my heart is big. It's big in my heart. Because you could be anywhere in the world, but you here with your girl. You feel me? I really hope y'all embrace those affirmations and truly apply them to your everyday life, because why not? What do you truly have to lose when it comes to speaking positivity and speaking life into yourself? What do you truly have to lose? How about you just do a challenge like 7 to 10 days? I would honestly say 21, because you know it takes 21 days to form or break a habit. So I would make an internal challenge for 21 days and just say affirmations and just watch how your life change. Positive affirmations, and watch your life change. How about you make an internal challenge to not say nothing negative? I mean, even if it come down to you seeing a funny reel or people talking shit on a stat, don't engage. See it and scroll. The fuck? Start doing shit differently. That's how you make a big change, by implementing small changes. One day at a time. That's what they told me in rehab. This is the part of the show where we're going to get into a story time. And I really want to share this story time with y'all because I think it's really important for me to not only share this information with y'all, but also give you kind of like a backstory. I'm pretty sure somebody out there has or will, God forbid, will go through this. And I really just want you to know, like, you're not alone, you know? So when my children and I originally moved to Buffalo Cheektowaga in 2024, um, I had the epiphany like, oh my gosh, I can move to Maryland, me and my kids. Like, I'm not afraid to do this anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because I really wanted the people around me to like experience Maryland and the greatness it has to offer. But I was also afraid of going by myself as well. So moving to Buffalo was really that pivotal moment where I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to move to Maryland. And I had told my kids when we got there, I said, y'all, do not get comfortable here. We're only going to spend 1 year here and we're going to Maryland. I said, Mackenzie, you're going to be like how I was, to the point where I moved to Maryland the summer of 11th grade, like going into 11th grade, and graduate high school in Maryland. And I told them this. Now, mind you, we moved to Cheektowaga was it January? No, I found it in January, and we moved in as of February, the 1st of February. So while I was there, I was still working at the bank and everything. I still had my job. And I didn't lose my job until July. But when I lost my job, I was so happy, yo. I felt so relieved. Like I really felt like my job was holding me back. Like I was even looking for jobs at the bank here in Maryland and Delaware because, Delaware is the banking capital of the United States. But um, I was even looking for places to work at the bank or transfer my job from Buffalo to, Maryland and stuff. That's how serious I was. And I was like, I was dead set on it. But when I lost my job, I was so happy. That's when like all the blessings started rolling in. Even something as simple as getting EBT because I was making too much money where I didn't qualify for EBT. So they said, but hey, I knew what I was bringing in. I knew what was coming out of my check. I knew how I was only really able to make ends meet by paying my rent, paying my lights, paying my gas, paying our phone bills, and spending like maybe $100 a week on groceries. It's me and three kids and a dog. I didn't have it like that. You know what I'm saying? So when I lost my job, I was so happy. I was so happy. I was finally able to get a car. I've been without a car for mad years. You know what I'm saying? But I finally, was able to get a car after I lost my job. It was so nuts. But I still saw God in all of it. You know what I'm saying? I got my license back in June, lost my job in July, got my new car August 1st. Like things were turning around for me. And then I got into a relationship in September. And when I got into that relationship, like I knew, like the person that I was with, I knew him and we had been on and off for about 8 years. So it wasn't nothing new to me. But when I got with him, I got really distracted. You know what I mean? And like I had told him, like me and my kids are going to actually move to Maryland once my lease is up in January. So you're more than welcome to come with us if that's something that you want to do. And he was with it, don't get me wrong, but he also had a lot of things that was holding him back and which would have held me back in Buffalo as well. So when I got with him, I got really distracted. I started getting my ass whooped. It's just so crazy because once I was getting my ass whooped and shit, and I ended up, my lease was up in January. Mind you, y'all, let me rewind. When I had moved to Buffalo, it literally only took me a month, maybe a month and a half to find me a new place in Buffalo. I paid my security deposit, paid my rent, got my keys, just like that. You know what I'm saying? It only took 2 months. When I was moving out of Buffalo, I could not find nowhere in Buffalo for me and my family to move. People was telling me, "Oh, move back to Niagara Falls." I'm like, "No, I'm not going backwards or going forwards." And I just refused to listen to anybody else when they were trying to get me to go back home. Because I'm like, no, something's going to play out because there's no way in hell I can't find anywhere to move here in Buffalo when it was so easy for me to move into Buffalo. So this is why it's really important for you to stay grounded and stay on your deem because people will distract you and it will make sense at the time. And if you're desperate enough, you may make the wrong move, but I just refuse. I felt it in the inside. This is why I said the feeling that I had is not something I could really describe. It's something you really got to go through on your own. Nonetheless. So when I was moving before my lease was up, I started looking for places to move like around October and November. So once my lease was up, by the time my lease was up, I still hadn't found anywhere to move. And that's how I became homeless with me and my kids. It was me, my kids, my dog, my mom, and my man. It's so crazy. Like we could not find nowhere to live. Finally, I was happy once my mom was able to get established and get her own place. You know what I mean? But me and my kids, we stayed in that motel for 9 months. But during those entire 9 months, I kid you not, that was God giving me the full window. It's almost like you know how when you pregnant, it take 9 months to truly conceive and nurture and grow and things like that. So that's how once once it was over, that's why I looked at it. But like me and my kids was in that motel for 9 months, and I kept telling them like, trust me, y'all, like this is what we getting ready to do. Like we're not moving into no house here. We're not moving into Amherst. We're not moving to Cheektowaga. We definitely not moving back to Niagara Falls. We are going to Maryland. So mind you, I'm getting my ass beat this whole time, and I decided to, and I was on welfare and everything, and I decided to make the best out of that situation. I'm like, bitch, you over here getting your head knocked between a washer and a dryer. In this case, getting knocked between a toilet and a tub every other day. Like you need to monopolize off of this. So I was already on welfare. So what I did was, instead of me paying out of my own pocket to stay in that motel, I went through the domestic violence unit, and they started paying the hotel for me. You get what I'm saying? So that was a blessing. So they started paying the hotel for me. Because I was in domestic violence and because I was in a motel, not only did they allow me to sign up for Section 8, but I was expedited and moved to the top of the list. So they approved me. The supervisor I had talked to, she approved me for expedited Section 8 housing. And because I was a domestic violence victim, I was able, well, rewind, because I was a domestic violence survivor, not only was I able to get Section 8, but I was able to get Section 8 and I was able to take it and flee fucking New York expeditiously, because at the end of the fucking day, I'm a domestic violence survivor. So I got Section 8, got it expedited. All I had to do was find basically a housing authority here, or whatever, a housing commission here in Maryland that I want to transfer it to. And I thought about going back to Upper Marlboro, Maryland, well, PG County, where I was from. You heard me, where I'm from, or whatever. But I was like, you know what? It's a lot going on in Montgomery County. Montgomery County is a very wealthy county, and let me just give that a try. So I found the housing commission, whatever, of Montgomery County, and I reached out to them, and I ended up, putting the worker in Buffalo in connection with the worker here in Maryland. They got my paperwork switched over. Boom, I got my voucher. All I had left to do was to find somewhere to move. And it was taking me a minute to find somewhere to move, y'all, because they have nothing but these beautiful mansions out here. Now, mind you, one thing about Montgomery County is, when it comes to fair housing laws, they cannot discriminate against you no matter what type of dwelling unit it is. They cannot discriminate you. They have to accept Section 8. Even if it's a fucking mansion, I kid you not. So I found all these beautiful, nice houses, all these fucking mini mansions and these mansions, and I was willing to move into them, knowing I had nothing to really move in there. But I knew once I got here, I was going to build myself up. So I was looking at all these houses. I even got approved for 2 different separate houses, but they pulled out on me last minute. So even right before I moved out here, the house that I had chose to go to, they ended up fucking pulling out on me last minute, and I had to find a different place, and I found a different place, which is where I'm at right now. And boom, we worked it out. I sent him my security deposit. I didn't send him my rent yet. Well, I didn't have to pay my rent because Section 8 paid it, but I sent him a portion of my security deposit, and I told him I'll give him the rest once I came here, because I wasn't even able to drive here and come look at the place. I was only able to look at it online, y'all. So that's what I did. And I gave him half before I came, and I gave him the other half when I got here. And I was just so happy once we fucking got here. Now, I didn't tell my kids. They had every intention on moving into the house that I originally had got for us before we moved out here, but I didn't tell them until we was 10 minutes away from this house to let them know, sorry guys, I know y'all intend on going to the other house, but I actually have a different house for us. And it's still everything that they wanted. Mackenzie wanted her own quarters. She wanted to be able to have her a bedroom with a bathroom and, more space or whatever, if she wanted to make like a living room or something or whatever, because she wanted basically her own apartment. It's a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom house. Sure, go for it, and that's the space that I'm in right now. But when we got here, she didn't want to be down here. She didn't want to be in the basement. she wanted the master bedroom because the master had a bathroom attached, and I gave it to her because the mother I am, I'm going to do anything my kids ask of me. And I said, you know what, there's so much I can do down here, I'll take the downstairs. But nonetheless, y'all, it wasn't until I moved on September 16th when I moved out of that motel. I'm telling you, y'all, I was just grabbing our stuff and we were just packing what we can in the car because I felt at that moment that if my dude knew that I was moving here, and I didn't, mind you, I didn't tell him nothing, but I was moving a little funny. But I felt like if he knew that the time was winding down, he was going to end my life. So, I had got that feeling and I said, I have to go. We have to go right now. The kids was like, yeah, ma, let's at least go down there and get the keys and stuff and we can come back for our other stuff. And that was the plan. So we left in the middle of the night and drove here. But thing is, we couldn't get back. We could, but we couldn't. And I'm glad that we couldn't because I probably would have gotten stuck there and probably would have got murdered. But nonetheless, I got in touch with the people from the Family Justice Center. Mind you, I had got in touch with them way before I got here. I had been working with them the entire time. But as I was getting closer and closer, like a week before I moved, I gave them the estimate because I was trying to find movers, and they ended up coming through for me. And they ended up moving. They ended up paying damn near $3,500 to get the moving truck to move my stuff from Buffalo all the way here to Maryland. They even gave me gas cards, y'all, so I didn't have to pay for gas on the way here. They paid for my moving, and I had such a good moving company. The guy who moved my stuff, like I said, we wasn't really fully ready to pack and move, but I'm telling you, y'all, God is so good. The man who packed up my house, well, my motel room, he packed up my motel room, cleaned the motel room, and brought the stuff down here and unloaded all the stuff into the house. Like, the favor that God has on my life. That's why it's like, no matter what it looked like, if you really trust that God is going to sit there and do what it is He said He's going to do, I don't care what it looked like. You have to trust Him because our plan is never His plan. Our life was already written and we never know what it is that God has for us. But if you trust Him enough and you believe Him and you believe in His word, I promise you everything you ask for will come to fruition. You got to trust Him though. And I trusted Him, y'all, no matter what it looked like. People dogging me, my kids getting mad, my man beating on me, my mom almost hating me because I'm staying with this nigga, but I'm just playing nice because I don't want him to take my life and ruin everything that God had in store for me. Working at Wendy's for 2 months just to have, a couple thousand in my pocket before we moved down here and stuff like that. Like, y'all, it was a lot. But after I moved on September 16th, that's when we got comfortable here. That's when I started realizing, it took those 9 months because it was like giving birth to a new me. When I was ready to start my podcast, y'all, I didn't want to have this demeanor. I wanted to have big fucking ranch. You know what I'm saying? And it comes out every now and then because I'm a Gemini. But who I am now is just who I am. I'm not the old me. God gave birth to a new me while I was still in Buffalo. And I'm a changed person. Like, I just don't think like I used to. I don't move like I used to. I don't communicate like I used to. And all I want to do is just help the next person. Even if you don't want a relationship with the Most High, I feel sorry for you if you don't. But even if you don't want a relationship with Him, I just want to help in any way that I can. And that's because I have so much knowledge to give. Look how big my head is. I have so much knowledge to give, and I've been through so much, and I've experienced so much that I want to give that to whoever's listening. I thank you so much for allowing me to share my story because I don't just be talking because I got lips. I talk because I've been through it. You know what I'm saying? What my boy Fab said, where I've been getting to it, going through and getting through it. You feel me? I've been going through and getting through it without the help of my children's father. You know what I'm saying? He's dead and gone. Their dad is dead and gone. And my kids, their biological fathers, they have nothing to do with them kids. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. I still did it. I feel like I have something to prove, not only just to myself, but to everybody, because y'all know y'all hate a nigga in real fucking life. You know what I'm saying? But all I've been doing is going through and getting through it. And I'm not trying to I never try to pull nobody down with me or nothing. I always just wanted to stand on my own and show you motherfuckers who the fuck I really am in real fucking life. And I'm really about that shit. I don't talk just because I got lips. I appreciate y'all letting me share my story. But anyway, y'all, that's it for today's episode. Again, I really appreciate any and everybody who does listen in and share, like, comment, and download and stream this podcast of mine that has been in the making for 6 fucking years. You know what I'm saying? But we here now. We here and we ain't going nowhere. No matter what this goddamn heart monitor say, we ain't going nowhere. You feel me? But yeah, if you haven't learned anything from me today, just remember, embrace your crazy, because it's only crazy because they don't understand it. That's it. What people don't understand, they will always call crazy. They call me crazy to this day. That's because you don't understand it. It ain't for you. Embrace your crazy. Stop being embarrassed. What you embarrassed of? Hmm? Who are you embarrassed of? Somebody who don't know how to do the Pythagorean theorem? They don't know what that formula is? What is you embarrassed of? I don't get it. Somebody who make minimum wage? You know what I'm saying? Why are you embarrassed? Get yourself together, baby. I promise you, you're gonna be all right. And lastly, at the end of the day, it's like my daddy always said, fuck them. All right, y'all. That's it for this episode. Again, I really do thank you all so much for listening and supporting your girl. Again, feel free to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And if you know anybody else who got something to say, tell them I said holla at me. Join this podcast or listen to my episodes. You know what I'm saying? This is really where it's at. All right, y'all. Holla.